Wolftick Nation, hola. We are in Walmart in Mexico, and Wolfman, El Panza duele muy feo. Muy feo.
Get off my hand!
Tomatoes!
Please
All
stop.
right, now I'm recording. Let me start the startup music. All right. That should be our intro.
Feels like I'm back in Mexico drinking at the pool, baby. Guys, what'd you think about that opener?
Let me cut this
Yeah,
off.
please do. Wolfman was puking, bad shape.
I was not puking because of drinking. Let's be clear on that.
Whatever. For a couple days, man, we're in Mexico. You guys saw the Pepto Bismol.
I was drinking a ton after that, and I wasn't puking any. It was this. I'm telling you, I ate some bad meat or something.
I don't know. Anyway, we're glad
Brushed
we're back.
my teeth with the sink water or something.
Yeah, if you guys did not check out the episode of the Mexico bike search, we were legit in Mexico. I don't know if you guys knew it or not, but
I don't think we
really
could fake that.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. But on today's episode, we're super excited you guys are here and joining us. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got your boy Wolfman over there, and I am the Tick. We are doing the Mongoose Switchback Expert and the Switchback Comp comparison.
We're going to compare them to each other,
Yep.
but we're also I'm going to throw a little bit of comparison to some other bikes that are brought up every now and then.
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like my stuff don't sound right. Anyway, I'm going to bring up a few things that people have mentioned of some other bikes, and I'm going to kind of I got three of them, to compare to the Expert.
Okay.
Because people are like, oh, I would buy this and that for that money. So I got three that are within probably $50 or less of what the Expert's going for right now. The Expert's on sale. Yeah.
If you have not been up with the news, Mongoose and Dick's Sporting Goods have now
partnered.
There you go. They've now partnered, right? So
I
Mongoose
didn't know
is
what
now
you were
being
coming
carried.
up with.
No, thank you. Mongoose is now being carried in Dick's Sporting Goods, and their Get Into bike, right, is the Switchback Comp.
Their Get Into bike.
Yeah, the bike you can go to Dick's Sporting Goods and find right now. And we found multiple of them. Before this bike was even supposed to drop, we found some.
That was definitely, you could tell from my reaction. Like I watched it. I remember. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, bike was not supposed to be out yet. We did a bike search, had no clue that was actually going to be at that Dick's Sporting Goods, and then we found the comp. So we're like, we're supposed to be waiting until May 2nd to let this news out. But we put that video out, got a whole bunch of likes. People were loving it and like, dude, is that going to be the GT taker over?
and a lot of people were critical of the price.
Yeah, very critical of the price.
There was, and I'm going to say that I think the original pricing coming out, yeah, I mean, we said it ourselves. It might have been a little bit high. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So let's get into what we're here
Let's
to
start
get
this
into.
comparison. Now, if you guys haven't seen, we did the initial impressions episodes on both bikes, right? And it was really hard to keep from talking about one bike compared to the other. And we kept saying, hey, we're going to hold off. We're going to do a video on it. And then especially during the real-time review, I had to let some stuff go because what's super hard, guys, is when you go out and film real-time reviews and you get on different bikes, right? Completely different bikes. Maybe a GT, maybe an Axum, and then maybe the Sauce, the Swin Ascension. It's not difficult to break down the bike for me because we've been doing it for a while, but it is hard as a rider to fill out different things, and not pick on the bike because it feels so different from another bike. The thing that was really nice with the two Switchbacks, because we filmed those the same day, was I did the Switchback Comp, which is the cheaper of the two, and then I got to ride the Expert, and it was like, wow, I can see I can feel the difference, see the difference, all in one shot. And that was really cool, and I was dying to not do the comparison.
Well, yeah, you compared them quite a bit, and you weren't really supposed to, but I understand how hard it is to not. I mean, like, you're going to naturally do some stuff. You're going to compare it in your head, and you're going to say some things, and even if you're not trying to.
Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about doing this comparison. Do you want to talk about the bikes and the price?
Well, yeah, we got to start off, like, right now they're on sale,
Mm-hmm.
and it's this what we're talking about, the prices. I believe that they came out a little hot on the price. They were a little high, and I think a lot of people felt that, and they got their feedback. I mean, you could go through our comments and see everybody saying they were.
Oh, they
a little
had
high.
to have read. They had to have read
Well,
all the comments.
I'm 100% sure somebody's reading them because
initially the Switchback comp was $549.
Yeah,
and it's on sale right now. You guys can check out the affiliate links. How much is it?
$399.
$399. And what's funny about that was on the real time review, it said, we'd like to see this bike more around the $400 range.
Yeah.
So bam. Now the Switchback Expert
was originally $699.
$699. And now it's
the $599.
$599.
Well, and look, everyone was saying, I mean, like at these prices right now, I believe at these prices it's good. Like, I mean, this is kind of where I think when you're buying from Dick's, this is where the prices should be at.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and people were like, well, I'd buy, this bike or that bike or whatever for that price. The problem is I've looked up some of these bikes that people say
you're talking about not the Expert or not the comp, but completely other.
Well, they're
bikes.
saying like Specialized.
Okay.
So I looked up a few of the Specialized, and just to throw it out there, and look, if someone would rather get a Specialized, then that's fine, get it. But with Dick's, you're getting, I know we kind of say that they're bike mechanic, and yes, is it a bike mechanic like you're going to find at a mom and pop shop? No. But it's going to be somebody that's better than your average local Walmart, and someone that can actually tune a bike and put it together right normally. I mean, we
should be pretty confident in the bike being put together.
Well, we have seen some that were iffy, but for the most part, yes. And then if there's something about it, you can go there and they can fix it and work on it. Where at Walmart, you just have to return it because no one's going to work on it and fix it. So you do pay for it being expertly put together, and then you get some perks out of it.
Hey, it's like you mentioned, it's a really good point. And you guys have seen our bike search videos. You can go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get sized out for one.
That is one thing. That's another thing too. The sizes. There's a lot of people say, well, this brand and that brand, but what I found looking this stuff up, size availability is not great. Not only that, but like some of the Walmart bikes that we've reviewed don't have more than one size, if they do, they have two. There's very few have three, and then very few have a small, medium, large, and so you're still gonna. And if you're an in-betweener, you might be in trouble, but you really are better off if you need the assistance of going through Dick's. Now, if you don't need that, you work on your bikes. No one else works on them. You can do all your own stuff and all that, then you're probably not shopping for those bikes anyway.
Yeah. I think, I think as a whole with the Switchback lineup, the two that we've ridden, I think they're great starter bikes. I know in the comments people are excited about, man, I can't wait to hopefully, fingers crossed, you guys start doing upgrades to these bikes, especially the comp.
And we are.
And we will be doing that.
We've already got one in the works. We're going to do it the comp. It'll be out this month.
God, sub 30 pounds, please.
Well, what we're going to do is probably going to add a little bit to that first.
Yeah, but then don't worry. We're going to get one of them suckers sub 30.
We'll see.
But okay, so that's the price difference with the two.
Okay, so the prices, and then now, do you want to compare those two bikes against each other? Why don't you do that, and then I will compare the Expert to some of these other bikes that are brought up frequently.
Okay, yeah, okay. We'll actually have a Switchback model comparison. Okay, between the comp and the Expert. Now, when it comes to the frames, this is something that during the real-time review, I watched back and I went, well, I guess that doesn't really make sense what I'm saying, because I felt that the Expert had such more of a rider's feel to it, right? And all I can remember when we looked at geometry, because we don't really mention geometry because we're not crazy scientific, right? But we're gonna mention it a little bit on this episode.
It's more about feel than the numbers anyway.
More about feel than the numbers.
You can't ride numbers. You can, you ride a bike and tell about how it feels. You can't ride numbers.
And the Expert felt so much different to me. And I remember mentioning, hey, on the real-time review, I don't know if it's a tapered head tube or what exactly it is. It just feels...
And you're not feeling a tapered head tube.
I don't know. Maybe not.
You're not feeling a tapered... It's not even a tapered fork.
But this is something that's interesting, okay? So I'm going into the notes here, into the geometry of the Switchback comp versus the Expert.
When you said that, I cringed.
But they have the same head tube angle, right?
Yeah.
And the head tube angle is a 60 degree, is that right?
67.5, I believe.
66.5.
66.5,
Yeah,
even better.
So we've got a 66.5. They're both pretty slacked out, and that's across the board. Remember, guys, if you get this bike in a small, it comes with a 27.5, both expert and a comp. And then you go to a medium, large, extra large, you get the 29er. But all across the board, it's a 66.5 degree head tube
And that's
angle.
4 sizes to choose from.
I was mentioning the riding feel, and I wasn't aware that actually there is a difference between the seat tube angle in degrees and the top tube length.
Is there?
Yeah, so there's a big difference there.
And that you compared 2 smalls?
Yes, 2 smalls. So this is interesting. On the Switchback comp, the horizontal top tube length is 559 millimeters. Okay, and the seat tube length is 390. So we have 559 and 390. Now, when you go to the expert, that's the comp, you have a 571. Okay, which is 22 millimeters longer, and then you also have a 400 as opposed to a 390 on the seat tube length. So there was some feeling that I felt that was a little bit different there. That top tube length is going to be 22 millimeters longer, and I think that really helps out with that head tube angle and maybe the seat post tube length. I think something's there. Obviously, people are probably going like, "Well, what an idiot!" Of course, there's something there, but that's a big difference. So that's one of the differences that not only is it backed up now, but I didn't understand that until I actually rode the thing. So there's a little bit more geometry in that. And another thing too is this chainstay length. The chainstay length on the comp is 445 millimeters long. Okay, and on the expert is 435. So it's 10 millimeters shorter.
Yeah, and to see that shorter makes it more playful.
And one of the funny things is when we look at the model comparison, it actually has listed on the expert has progressive trail bike geometry. And I was going, well, how is that if the only difference between the expert and a comp is you have a tapered head tube versus a 44 to 44? Well, there you go. There's actually has some progressive trail geometry there. So they do give you that, and as a rider, I felt that without really looking back at the geometry and the numbers. So that's pretty impressive that you feel that big of a difference there.
Yeah, you did. You said that, and I'm thinking, well, if these bikes are almost the same, and I knew there was a little bit of difference, but I didn't know how much. But you're like talking about the type of head, head tube or
Thinking
whatever.
that the head tube angle being 66.5 was the same, or the tapered head tube going, oh, well, there's something different here. But there's actually a little bit more to the numbers, So the second difference, and we've talked about this a little bit too, the fork difference. Something that I was impressed with, and I didn't think I was going to be so impressed with, was the Expert's fork as opposed to the Comp's fork. And given the price difference, I'm glad that in the Expert they actually give you an SR Suntour, the XCE, 100 millimeters of travel. Now, it doesn't have a lockout, but it does have the preload adjustment. Right, the preload adjustment, but so does the comp.
Neither fork is great.
They're not great.
The Suntour is definitely marginally better.
And the thing actually kind of broke loose a little bit and loosened up as I was riding, so that was nice. Now the Expert I feel was a little bit more balanced throughout the air, but I think a lot of that was geometry as opposed to the fork one being lighter than the other. We didn't take
I think the forks are probably pretty close.
Probably the same fork.
I'm
if you're looking
guessing.
at realistically, they're probably the same millimeters of travel, same stanchion width. They're probably the same fork, but on the Expert you get the SR Suntour. Next can be the drivetrain, big part of the bike because we all know you get a free wheel with the comp. Unfortunately, you can't go any bigger on the cassette, right? But somebody did let us know that they're making a bigger range.
Supposedly, there is a bigger cassette. You could change it out to a bigger free wheel or whatever you want to call it. To me, it's a cassette, regardless of how it mounts.
Yeah, because right now with the comp, you're getting a free hub. It's got a Shimano TY300 derailleur, a micro shift thumb shifter, and again, it's the free wheel, and it is an 13 to 34 tooth.
Yeah, it's not great.
No, it's just not great at all. And it's like you want to make sure you have an excellent drivetrain, especially, like riding here in Arkansas. Like we've got a mixture, a plethora of different trails.
But you can't, I don't know if you can expect an excellent drivetrain at that price point. I don't know, what bike do you get that has an excellent drivetrain at that price point?
For 400 and what
for $400.
Oof. For $400 right now, you can get an Ozark Trail Ridge for $398. That comes with an A5.
No, not anymore. They changed it.
Oh, they changed it?
Yeah, now it comes with it might be an Acolyte. I don't know. It comes with something or an Advent
I think it does
or
come
something.
with an Acolyte.
Or
I
an
think
Advent.
you're right. I mean, but that's
Might be Advent. I don't know. It comes with, I think, a microshift.
yeah. But either way, that's a free hub as opposed to a free wheel. You know. And another thing that I really don't like about the comp is it's the 2x. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
the
it's a
2x.
2x. What is it, a 36 tooth on the big chainring and a 22 tooth on the smaller?
Yeah. Which is fine if you don't get messed up when you're shifting.
Yeah, and you guys all seen it when I went down the cat's meow. That chain, it derailed multiple times. That chain was slapping all over the place.
In all fairness, we still have to take that back and see what happens because
oh yeah,
we want to take it to Dick's and see what they do because that derailleur was acting funky.
Yeah, that thing was jacked and it was super loose. Like something was up with it.
Something was wrong with it.
And then we all know with the Expert, you get a 1x8. Okay, now this is where they upset me a little bit. They give you the awesome Acolyte that we're massive fans of, and they call it the wide range cassette, but it's only a 12 to 42 tooth.
And they do make the 12 to 46.
Yeah, and I love the 12 to 46 tooth, you know.
Yeah.
And I love the Acolyte. So really you would just have to get a new cassette. You know, that's going to run you probably what, 60, 70 bucks maybe?
I don't think it's that much.
No.
I think that cassette, the Acolyte cassette, now I haven't checked on it in a long time, but we used to buy them and I think they're around 40.
Oh, really?
We used to buy them.
So we'll definitely need to do that because I want to stick with that group set because it has the chain tensioner on there. You know, I think they call it a stabilizer. You know, it's not really it's considered a clutch.
What's an Acolyte? It's a good group set.
Yeah, it's a great group set. And again, you have the 1x on there. So the drivetrain's a big deal. You get the free hub on the Expert. The comp, you got the free wheel. The cool thing is with the comp, since you do get a 2x, the nice thing is the brakes and the shifters are not integrated. And we talk about that all the time. If you want to change out the shifters, not integrated, they didn't cheap us out on that. So you can actually go ahead and change those and keep your mechanical brakes without having to swap everything and buy new brakes. You know,
yeah, because the brakes weren't bad.
No, brakes weren't bad at all. So
they're not hydraulic, but they weren't bad.
Well, since we're on the subject of brakes, with the Expert, you get the
Would you stop?
Nut.
I think you've exhausted that.
You get the nut hydraulic brakes.
I think you can give that a break now.
Okay. You get the nut hydraulic 2-piston brakes on the Expert, which is awesome. You get hydraulic brakes as opposed to the comp's mechanical brakes. They both come with 160 millimeter rotors. The Expert does have like fancier Clark looking rotors. They're not branded Clarks, but they look like they're Clark rotors. But Clarks. But both brakes grabbed really well. And that was without even bedding them in. You know?
Yeah. You didn't do. Yeah. You kind of went to the parking lot, and that was about it.
Yeah, that was all I did on that. All right, so that's the brakes. Now, the last thing I want to mention is going to be the tires. All right, on the comp, you get the exposure tires. Let's see, the tires on the comp are, of course, 27.5, and they are exposure MTB 27.5 by 2.25.
On the comp, yeah, those are definitely not good tires for off-road use.
No, that's why I was so excited when we busted open the Expert and it came with the 27.5 WTB Trail Bosses, 27.5 by 2.25. So the same width, right? Same size, but the knobbage on the Trail Bosses were awesome. I mean, those were really good tires, man. Those suckers gripped.
They were considerably a better tire.
Oh, for sure. And that's going to help you out with your cornering and your braking. You know, I don't know if a lot of people really think about that, but them tires gripping down in the dirt when you go to hit that brake, that's a big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
I think most people can at least understand when you say that, knowing that you need that dig to brake hard.
The dig,
you know?
yeah. You need that dig. But, the WT Trail Bosses, big fan of. But that's what I have listed for the model comparisons on the Expert versus the comp: the frame, the fork, the drivetrain, the brakes, and the tires.
Even after reviewing them and doing this comparison, I still stand by who it's for on the initial impressions. I think we nailed it on that.
Oh, yeah. It was cool in initial impressions. Yeah, we always do the positive, negatives, and who this bike is for. And, yeah, absolutely, I think we nailed it. You know?
I think I stand by that still.
But the great thing when it comes to both the Mongoose Switchbacks, the comp and the Expert, the great thing is these are bikes that you can find. Okay, bikes that you can go to Dick's Sporting Goods, you can purchase, or you can check out the affiliate links in the description below. I'm going to throw that out there. You guys can get these bikes.
Yeah, we're not paid. I mean, we make a few bucks if someone uses the affiliate link, but if you don't use it, you don't use it. Who cares? Like, affiliate links we're not going to get rich on anytime soon, and we're not getting paid for any of this. This is our opinions on stuff, but we're just saying if you're considering buying one and you're ordering it, and if you use the affiliate link, it does help the channel.
Yeah, so you might as well do that. Now, what I was getting to was the great thing with both these bikes is the comp. You want to spend I think I said this in a real-time review. You want to spend a couple $100, and if you're a guy that likes to get his hands dirty and work on your own bikes, and you've got some tools, You know, you go, hey, I'm going to get the more budget bike and I want to upgrade and just fill this thing out and ride it. And know that there's not really a huge difference between this and the Expert as far as feel goes, you know, because the bike felt really good. And I was just saying that there was little differences here and there that I could feel.
I do think you were a little bit rough on the comp. I do in the review, but I think you were frustrated with the derailleur at that point. And once you got frustrated with that, I think you even before that, I think you had decided that you were going to be really harsh on that bike a little bit. You have this thing. Some people say it, you know, in certain moods you're like that. And you did come across, I thought, a little bit rough on that bike. And I'm not saying it didn't deserve some of the things. What I'm saying is I think you were predisposed to be rough on it because of where you were at. And when you got to the second bike, you were like, okay, you know, I think you'd rode, you warmed up. The first time you were back on Cat's Meow, it was the first time we were back in that area, you know, to do that. And I think it was, I don't know, something told me that you were just a little bit, you were not quite the same going into it mentally as you were the Expert. But I do understand the Expert felt better.
Yeah. Well, you know, a big part of it, and I know people can relate to this, is I don't know if there's anything that drives me more nuts than a group set that doesn't shift.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know, and that thing kept jumping out.
Yeah,
of
and
gear,
that's true.
you know.
It bothers me too.
It's very upsetting. I mean, I'll take a flat tire and go, damn, you know, my tire went flat.
But as soon as you
I hate
repair
that.
it, you're back to normal.
Yeah, you know, and then, once you repair it, you're good to go. But a group set, it's like I don't have time to put it up on the bike stand out there. You know, I can't go through and tune this bike when it worked perfectly fine in the shop. I always say whenever you're in the shop and you're tuning a group set, it's always different. Most of the time, unless it's a really expensive group set, most of the time it's going to give you the exact same feedback when you go on the trails. But that bike right there, that was very upsetting, you know.
Oh, there's been a few of them that shifted good in the shop and not so great on the trail. It's happened. And there's some that's been the other way.
Yeah. But I think those are the big differences when it comes to the Expert and the comp. I mean, as far as geometry goes, and then, you know, of course, all the other things we listed. But, I mean, both really fun
bikes. And you can go
bikes.
back, if you want to know who it's for and all that, you can go back and watch those.
Yeah. Or if you want to see the real-time reviews, go back and watch those too. You know, if you guys are trying to decide.
Now I want to parlay over to just talking about a couple bikes I found when I just did a quick search. Okay, so I'm going to talk about, so people brought up the Rockhopper Sport, 29-inch Rockhopper Sport, and it's on sale for $649.99. I don't know about shipping. You might have to pay for shipping. I don't know. I could not find a definitive answer without putting in a cart and trying all that. Right now, it only comes in extra large and extra large because I guess they're limited.
Well, that's a problem.
That's a problem. It does have hydraulic brakes, but it's a 2x. And it's a 68.5 degree head tube angle.
So that's worse than the Expert or the comp.
But quite a bit. So it's non-tapered. When someone's saying, "Oh, I'd just get this and that," at that price plus potential shipping, you're not getting the Dick's service.
Yeah, but that, you know what that is? That's somebody that's all about specialized.
Well, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, on that particular one, okay, I don't see how that's a much better buy. Okay, just on the surface. Now there might be some details in there that are better. I don't know. I didn't deep dive. I just on the surface. Trek Marlin 5 Generation 2. That's $599.99 right now on sale.
Okay.
And it right now you can only get it in a medium large online. If you can't find it in a store, you can only order it in medium large.
That's a problem.
Not medium and large, a medium large. So yeah, that's a problem. It does come with hydraulic brakes as well. Okay. It's also a 2x.
Why are they doing this to us?
It's non-tapered, and it's a 68.5. It's a 69.5 degree head tube angle. I mean, it is upright.
We're getting scientific. People need to get more scientific if they're going to throw a bike out there.
But people always talk about people always say, well, you can't, like, geometry's free, right? When they make the bike like that, and you can't upgrade that. So they should always do good geometry. And I'm thinking, well, 66.5 versus 69.5 is not even close.
I know which one I'm going with. Okay. Yeah. So now let me ask you this. We'll do a little conclusion here. The comp for $449. Is it worth it?
No, it's $400. It's $399.
Oh, $399. Is the Switchback comp for $399 worth it?
It is if you want that support from Dick's. if you're getting into biking, then it's completely worth it. If you already have had a bike and you're looking for a little bit better bikes, like say you started on like a $200, Walmart, like those really ones that we don't mess with a whole lot. We have in the past, but if you start with one of them and it's like, it's nothing. It's not a good bike at all. And you want something better, but you're not ready to bite the bullet and you don't do a lot of work on bikes, then I don't know if unless you want that support. If you don't care about the support, there are other bikes for $400. There's the Axum line of bikes.
We have a whole,
we can go in. I mean, we look at our channel, our catalog.
Okay. Now the Switchback Expert.
To me, that's the
$599.
To me, that's the more appealing bike. And the reason why, what's funny is I like the 44 to 44 on the comp because of the options, but the tapered's better for most people. The reason the Expert provides a better bike for what I'm talking about is because it's a good enough bike to ride for a while, and you have the support of Dick's, and you can do your upgrades. That bike frame is already, the geometry as we've gone through is good. That it's a good. I mean, that's a good bike to take and upgrade over time, and it's good out the gates. Nothing wrong with the comp. I like the comp. We're going to upgrade it too. We're going to do some stuff with it. And when we get done, it's probably going to be an expensive, probably $1,200 bike, but it's going to be a pretty sick one. I think Expert's a better value. The Expert's going to be a better value for a lot of people. I think the comp is more appealing to someone that plans on upgrading quickly.
Okay.
If they want to just get a bike and they're going to want to change out the fork pretty quick, they're going to want to change the group set pretty quick. They're going to want to, they're going to want to change some things pretty quick. I think the comp's perfect.
Or save up over time and do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying is I just think the comp out of the box is just not. I think for the what is it, the $200 difference right now, for $200, I think the Expert's probably it's worth $200 more.
Okay, all right. Well, there's a conclusion.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Then again, I think about it and I go, for $200, I could do hydraulic brakes,
pedals and grips,
that rear wheel. Then that's probably I'm a little over budget already.
Yeah, you're a little over budget.
But I mean, I don't know. I think the Expert's a better bargain. I think it's a better deal.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. That was the Switchback model comparison between the Switchback Comp and the Switchback Expert. I'm excited we got this video done. If you guys are excited about it too, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And check out the affiliate links in the description below. Let us know, what bike would you go with? Would you get the Expert? Would you get the Comp? Or would you get something completely different? Let us know in the comments. But that's another.
And why would you get
episode.
something different? I want to know why. Not just because of the name. I don't care about name. Tell me what features or what is it about the bike you would get different? Why?
Yeah, we read every comment. All right, guys. So
we don't always respond to them anymore because we don't have time, but we do read them.
That was another Wolf Tick Videos episode. We appreciate you guys watching. As always, we will see you on the next one.
Yeah.